Okay, this is Mike at Astro Apostle. Again, until I get a new channel name from Astro Gaze. I've come to a conclusion that depending on what telescope you acquire, and you see I have several telescopes here, and forget it, I've got a couple others coming that I haven't received, that I realized that some telescopes are good for astrophotography. We won't speak of the smart telescopes because they actually operate on their own. Optics are good. The AI functionality works perfect in terms of image processing, which I'm still struggling with processing the images that I've gotten from these telescopes. But I realized that some telescopes are made for astrophotography or good for astrophotography, while others may not be as good except for some major modifications. On the left is the Celestron Power Seeker 127 EQ, which I realize I do better if I just use it for observation. The SV Bony MK105, I realize I do better with just visual observation. The Celestron C8, which is SCT, standard SCT, I do better if I just use it for visual observation. The others, again, this SV Bony 550 122 millimeter, it actually captures exceptional images. The same for the ASCAR 180, FMA 180 Pro, and the one on top is just a 180. They do well in terms of imaging capture. Now, some people will say, well, maybe your images aren't coming out as well because for the three on the right, could be alignment or collimation. Well, the Celestron and the Celestron scopes do allow for collimation, again, which is something I'm just going to have to get better at. The SV Bony MK105, the mirror is supposed to be sealed, so there's no reason to worry about collimation, although when I put an eyepiece on it, I can see Saturn and its rings, and the ring is clear at 1365 millimeter. I have a 2 times Barlow, which is 2730, which gets me in real close, but not close enough to see the clouds on the planet. And yet I can see the rings and maybe one or two of the moons. Now these are my mounts. I have the Huawei 17, the Skywatch, the Star Adventure GTI, and the Ioptron Gem 28. Oh, and behind it is the Explorer Scientific First Light EXOS Nano tripod. Although it's not really a good tripod, it's kind of weak. A lot of vibration in terms of the handling. And like I said, I don't have to speak for the ZWO C-Star. That's a 50 because you just set it on the table. I generally direct it toward the north and turn it on, and after a few minutes of auto alignment, it does capture pretty good images no matter what I focus on or what object I look at. And if, like I said, I have several other telescopes coming that for the most part are probably going to be for observation, because when I look through the eyepiece on those 3 telescopes right there, I get a good view. I can get in focus, doesn't matter about the outer edge, but the center, I get a good focus on the object. I can see through the eyepiece depending on the selection of the magnification of the eyepiece. On the reflectors, refractors, I don't have to worry about it. Now, those three are reflectors. These two are refractors, and the C star works on a prism design, and so I would assume you'd call it a refractor as well, although some people may argue it's a reflector. So you have to keep it in perspective. I worked for months trying to configure these with cameras, and I had difficulties. My images were blurred or almost impossible to see until I took the cameras off and put eyepieces on them. I'm going to use a C star tonight if the weather permits. It's very windy at 2,032 millimeter, and maybe I'll put a 2x Barlow to make it a 4,000 millimeter telescope to see if I can see Saturn at about 2 a.m. in the morning, because on the SV Bony MK105 with the 2 times Barlow, even with a 3 times Barlow, Saturn came in and I was able to see Saturn's rings. And for me, that's rewarding after really doing this hobby for as long as I've done this hobby. So again, I didn't want to make a long video. I just wanted to make a short video for beginners. Now I am buying some upgrades for the Celestron C8 in order to, kind of make it equivalent Edge HD, but we'll see what those additional upgrades are going to help me with. And just as a beginner, it's kind of bringing me back down to the ground. I had high hopes for those perfect James Webb or Hubble images, but now I've kind of have to come down to the earth and realize that telescopes on Earth in our current atmosphere, I'm not yet at a dark site location, are chancy at best. And you can't be disappointed because, again, you got a lot of elements to try to overcome to get the James Webb or the Hubble type images. You got a whole lot of hurdles to overcome, if you can overcome it all. And the hobby is expensive even when you're buying used, because even the used sellers want to make a little money. So I just put that out there. As people have tried to advise me, I'm going to advise you, keep things in perspective. Don't be too disappointed. Enjoy what you're doing and make the best of it. Again, you push it to its limits and just be pleased with what you get when you do get an image, or when you do visually get to see what it is you're looking for, because this is an exciting hobby and there's so much out there in the sky, so much that it makes you realize, as one of the content providers said, that it's all meaningless and we're all going to die. Basically, when you go out to the furthest reaches of the universe, we're less than specks. What we're doing hardly counts in relationship to what's happening. And our 100 years or 120 years is meaningless in relationship to the billions of years, the hundreds of billions of years science said that things have been developing. So, I'm just happy to be alive. And I'm just happy to, take a hobby where I can learn more about what's going on in the world and in the skies. And again, we have pretty good skies today, although at the bottom you'll see a kind of light haze. In Arizona, it's nothing but dust. We don't really have smog. but we have a lot of dust, hundreds of feet in the air. So my searches have to be at a higher elevation, to kind of get out of the dust rather than looking through the dust. So for you, clear skies, and please subscribe. Please help me build this channel. I'm doing all that I can to make it a worthwhile channel to help users to just kind of get a better understanding of the hobby and the equipment that you're going to want to use if you get it in at all, or the equipment that you have for this hobby. So again, I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you enjoy this hobby, and I just say clear skies.